So I got to watch The Banshees of Inirsherin today, and I'm very glad I did. This was directed by Martin McDonagh, and he is the director of Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, In Bruges, and Seven Psychopaths. All of which are great films. I would probably say that Seven Psychopaths is my least favorite of the four. But this one I was very much looking forward to because I mean, just the concept of it alone. And I didn't watch any trailers, but what I heard of it sounded like it was going much more to the In Bruges style. And the story of it and the plot of it, it sounded really intriguing. So I was expecting to like this film, and I liked it way more than I thought I was going to. This is one of his best films. It got a 5 star from me. And I don't have anything against giving films 5 stars for first time watches. This one deserved it, and sometimes when I give a 5 star to a film that I watch for the first time, the second time I'll watch it, sometimes it'll come down to a 4, sometimes it'll come down to a 3. But I'm not of the idea where you have to watch a film or let it age for a few years or give it a bunch of watches before you can label it a 5 star. If I love a film and I think it's 5 out of 5, it's 5 out of 5 for me. And this one took an immediate 5 out of 5. I loved the performances in this film. I loved the themes of this film. It's so funny. It is perfectly dark comedy. It's the best dark comedy I've seen. The banter is phenomenal. You get a lot of the wit that you get from Mark and McDonagh in general. When he's having people banter and argue back and forth, like you get a lot of repetition lines. It kind of reminds me of Hodgkin twins vibes, where a lot of people will repeat what the other said or finish each other's sentences, kind of thing. And he uses that kind of humor a lot in it. It's very Irish in dialect. This takes place in a small fictional island outside of the mainland Ireland. It also takes place in 1923, which I didn't know, so that was a new one for me. I thought it was modern day, but it is not. So you get a big Irish dialect. They say fickin' a lot instead of fucking, which made me laugh. And they put like at the end of sentences a lot. Just comical. This film definitely does merit watching it again. I'm gonna have to watch this one a few times. There's a lot of characters that are in this film that definitely seem to have a bigger meaning than just being there. I would say that a lot of characters were put into this film to add symbolism to the story. There's a lot of depression themes, very comedic, very humorous ways of handling dark subject matter. This film does get dark and weird. Weird in a sense, just because I didn't expect it to go there. Like, some of the themes after the second act of the film start to get pretty strange and bizarre. Not over the top. This isn't like a mindfuck kind of movie by any means. It's very easy to follow. It's just some characters' decisions and things they choose to do can seem a little strange, but in a very, very twisted, dark sense. And you're always on board with it, though. Even though it does take some turns when it comes to the plot, you're always on board for everything, and everything is just so funny. It's the best way I can describe it. Visually, this film is absolutely beautiful. I love the Irish like islands look, and the oceans and the countrysides are just amazing. Everything is very old school because this is taking place in 1923, so the costume design is everything. Even just the way they use a lot of animals, like there's a lot of donkeys in this movie. Sometimes the donkeys are in the houses. There's no electricity anywhere, so everything is lit by candlelight. A lot of music, like folk music in this film, which again adds another element to the atmosphere of it. It's such a fantastic job, and it's visually appealing, and the plot is so dense and so in depth, and these two characters just they carry each other because it's really the whole story revolves around them, but because of each of their decision making will affect the other person's reaction, kind of thing. It's just really strong in that element. One thing one will do will have the other react so passionately, kind of thing, and then vice versa, that person will do something. And it's really really well written. It's almost like the side characters are representing something, and this is what I want to dive into this film a few more times to really let everything sink in. And it's not going to be hard to do because I mean, just visually alone, you put the story and the plot aside, as great as that is, just looking at this movie is beautiful. You could watch this on mute and, you know, just get lost in its atmosphere. So man, it's so incredible. This is such another good project from Martin McDonagh that anything he comes out with, I'm certainly going to be watching immediately. So I'm really glad I got to find this streaming, and it is two huge thumbs up for me. So if you like Martin McDonagh, if you like Colin Farrell in anything he does, I forget the other actor's name. I'm blanking. Gleason. I think it's Brendan Gleeson, but I could be mistaken. And if you like any of the other films, Three Billboards, In Bruges, or Seven Psychopaths, give this one a shot because it's right on par with everything he's touched so far. So really, really good stuff. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice or if you like my film reviews. I'll be back with more soon, so stay tuned for those. Check out what's on the channel. Stay tuned for what's coming, and until next review, have a good one. Take care and cheers.